Okay, so we'll record just in case you have people that aren't able to jump on. I'm so excited to be with you guys this evening. I know Rose is really excited to have you guys on the Zoom. So I'm just going to kind of share a little bit about me and like what it's been for the past 3 months and what I've kind of adapted to as far as like training. I feel like this system that Pruvit has is really like very simplistic and super easy to follow. So even if you don't have network marketing experience, you can come in here and win, which is awesome. I do have network marketing experience, so it was a little different for me. I was with a prior company for 4 years. So I tell people that it's different because I have been growing my network for 40 years. I mean, I'm 40 years old, so I've been growing my network and my social media pages and things like that for a really long time. So, and I spent 4 years with another company learning a lot about personal growth and development and just kind of how this whole business model works. So I do have that, and I think it's important to know because some people, you see someone come into something like this and like zoom to the top and you're thinking, holy cow, like what are they doing? Like, is there a secret sauce that she has? And really there isn't. Behind the scenes, we've been working a lot. We put a lot of hours in, we put a lot of time and energy in. But it does make a difference when someone's been doing this before. They simply have a larger network. They have more people at their fingertips than, say, some who's never done network marketing or don't have a large network. So there is different factors of why people go super fast. So I just want to say that, we don't all, not everybody comes in and zooms up to the top. So I'm very fortunate to have a lot of great people on my team that have really plugged in and number one, love this product. So they're having awesome results and they just have like a strong belief in what we're doing here with the ketones. So that helps too. And we're brand new. So when you guys were brand new, I mean, I heard Rose's success. Rose had a huge success. You guys were one of those teams that went really fast too and got to the top. So that's super exciting. So congratulations for that because that's a huge accomplishment. With anything like this, I think for me personally, consistency and staying engaged and connected is key. The moment you disengage and you're not in activity is the moment your momentum crashes and you don't move forward. So for us, the key is keeping in momentum, keeping engaged, and staying plugged in. So how do we do that? So it's coming over to this company, they do things vastly different than I'm used to. So everything that I kind of thought I knew and what I had learned, I kind of had to check at the door. So, the watch, connect, and experience is already set up for us. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. I had to invent the wheel in my prior company. So I had to figure out how to market, what to say, how to do it, how to get people in and train people, how to get people to stay in. Here, they've already kind of done that work for us. So it's 3 simple steps. And if you can really grasp that it's really that simple, then it'll be a lot easier for you. So the watch, connect, and experience, I think, is brilliant. It's very simplistic. So whether you have network marketing experience or not, you can come in here and win really big if you can utilize those 3 steps. So we know that Campfire Video is a huge tool that Pruvit gives us. That's something that we use. We literally run everything that we're doing in our team off that Campfire Video. That's the first and foremost thing that we use because that's what was taught to me when I came in. So that's all I really know. So that Campfire Video is going to be your biggest tool. That's the watch. And then the connect is, so for me, when I came in, I was connected immediately. So I'm under Casey Self and she's under Natalie Kilborn, and then Nick and Michael Rutherford. So we have an awesome team of support, which is huge. I think that the support system that we have is incredible. And so the connect part for us is really important. So again, I didn't have that in my prior company. So I think that's why I love it so much. And I utilize that connect. So connect for me means bringing a third-party validation in. I use tools like videos and calls, but I think the personal third-party validation is key. So for me, after the video, we get with a sponsor. So we're getting in with another person, whether it's Casey, whether it's Natalie, whether it's Michael Rutherford. We have someone in a message or on a call with us all the time. So the experience obviously is the product, right? We want to get them to 5 days of ketones themselves so they can kind of get an idea of what we're experiencing. So how do we utilize the Watch, Connect, and Experience? We really encourage everyone to come in with an experience pack. And I do that, and I've duplicated that because that's how I came in, and I saw how well it worked. Personally, I think the experience pack is brilliant. The fact that you have samples to initially sell to people very quickly and inexpensively, the $25 for 5 day, holy cow. Anybody and everybody will drop $25 to try something new, right? It's your job to create the excitement and the curiosity to draw them in and put them in a place where they want to try the sample. So how do I do that? The first thing that I teach is come in on the experience pack. So purchase the experience pack, not for my benefit, but for theirs. So I don't even really talk about any other option until I know that they say flat out, I absolutely can't do it. There's no way I can do it. Then we'll have a conversation about, okay, you have to get in where you fitted. So there's a family pack. You can come in, with a 30-day, a 60-day. But really my goal is to talk up the experience pack so much and really explain to them and let them know how beneficial it is, in that they can really recoup that $850 very, very quickly if they do the things that I'm going to tell them to do. And so we really don't even, talk about another option unless it's a dead, absolute no. So I think that helps too. Because we're explaining the importance of the experience pack and how it works, people are joining, which shocked me because when I first found out that it was $850 to buy an experience pack, I nearly didn't join. Me personally, I said, there's no way I'm going to get people to spend $850. You only had to spend $100 in my last company, and it was really difficult. So I thought, oh gosh, that's a game changer for me. $850, that's crazy, right? But as soon as I heard about what the experience pack was and the Watch, Connect, and Experience, it made sense to me. So if you explain it right, if you can really, get them to understand the importance of it and how fast they can recoup their money, I think people will do it. I've seen 99% of my team has come in on an experience pack, which I still think is mind-blowing. So that's my first. Sorry guys, I have dogs. My daughter just came in the door. So what do? It create an excitement. And so the second they join with an experience pack, we have them start creating curiosity and excitement on their page that day. So we don't wait for them to have the experience pack come in, because that's wasting a whole week of time where you can have your whole experience pack sold. So what we do is we say little things on social media. We'll say something like, I just made a huge decision today. I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to see it play out. That has nothing to do with network marketing, has nothing to do with a product. It just tells your social media people that you're super excited about something and you're starting something new. And so people watch that. I think we're nosy by nature. And so people are curious and they watch people's social medias. And if you put too much out there, they won't come back to see what you're doing. If you put a little bit out there, then the next time you post something, they're going to be like, what's Danny doing? She seems super perky, or she seems super excited about something. I'm going to check back and see what's going on. So we might say something like, has anybody ever done the Atkins diet? That's it. Just post if anybody's ever done the Atkins diet. We might say something like, hey, has anyone ever been in ketosis? One-liners, little things about excitement or about the product. And what I teach my people is as soon as someone likes that comment or that post, they like it, if they comment, they're going to shoot them the campfire video. That's the open door to shoot the campfire video over to them and say, hey, I saw that you liked my post about the Atkins diet. You've got to check out this 5-minute video, and I want you to tell me what you think when you're done watching it. So we teach them to leave it an open-ended where they have to respond back to you. So say, hey, watch this 5-minute video and let me know what you think. Or hit me back as soon as you're done. I want to ask you a question. So if you leave them with that question, they feel more apt to respond to you instead of hey, watch this video for me. And then they don't feel like they have to respond to you because you didn't ask them a question. You just told them to watch the video. So we always want to leave a message with an action, a call to action. So they have to respond to you. So most people will respond to you. And that's what we do for the first several days. Just create excitement, just create curiosity, and shoot that campfire video to as many people as possible. I mean, the whole goal is to have as many eyeballs on that campfire video as you can find until you have your product in hand. Once people send them the campfire video, this is what we train them to do. So I'm going to post, I'm going to have, you know, my new person post, have you ever been in ketosis? And someone comments and they get the campfire video. So they respond and say, hey, I watched that campfire, or I watched the video. That was super awesome. That sounds really interesting. I'd love to try it, but I have Crohn's. Can I try that or can I take this if I have Crohn's? Most people ask a question after they see the video. They'll make some kind of question, whether it's what is it, or, you know, how long have you been doing this, or what's the product is, what's the ingredients, or I have this, can I take it? That's probably the biggest response that we typically get is, that looks really interesting, what is it? Or, gosh, I definitely want to try that, but I have IBS. Can I use it if I have IBS? So what we train to do is, you do not respond to that. Your initial reaction would be to respond to that, right? That's what you would typically do. You would say, either if you knew the answer, you would say, well, sure, you can take it. You should take the chocolate because it has a prebiotic in it. We don't want you saying that. We don't want you saying anything. So what I train my people to do is, the second they have a response from that campfire video, they put me into that conversation. They don't ask. They just add me in, and they say, hey, Susie Q, this is my friend Kelly. I know that you asked if you could use this product if you had Crohn's. So I wanted to make sure that you got the right answer. And so it's not weird. It's not awkward. They didn't say something like, hey, Susie Q, can I put you my sponsor in, or can I put my upline in a three-way chat? No one's going to say yes to that, because that's awkward and weird. No one knows what an upline or sponsor is, and no one knows what a three-way chat is. It just seems awkward, right? That's language that we're used to, but your friends and family are probably not used to. So we never want to lead with that. If someone asks a question, you just immediately put your sponsor in, and you say, hey, Susie Q, that was a great question. You asked if you could take this product if you had Crohn's or IBS, and I wanted to make sure you got the right answer. This is my friend Kelly. And so I'm going to respond to the question. I'm going to say, hey, that's an awesome question. Yes, you can totally take ketones if you have IBS. I would really recommend, you know, chocolate or the Max because that has a prebiotic, blah, blah. I'm going to shoot just a simple response, and then we'll probably ping pong back and forth. But they've initiated the conversation and eased me into it where it's not awkward or weird. And now we've established a conversation where I'm in that message. So after we ping pong about Crohn's, you know, I would say that I would give them whatever answer that they asked, and I would recommend a certain flavor. And then, you know, if it was your message, you could say, or I might say, you can go ahead and get a trial from Sherry. She's awaiting her product. It'll be here any day. I would recommend the chocolate for 5 days. So then you can close and say, hey, yes, I'm going to message you as soon as I get my product, but I can meet you for the $25, or you can PayPal me the $25. So we use PayPal. We have everybody set up a PayPal account. We charge $5 for shipping if they're out of state, or they can meet for the money. That's how we kind of set things up. But we teach our people never to respond to a message. Never, ever, ever. Because it's the third-party validation that is the connect. And you're leaving that window open where if they have other questions, maybe they don't commit to the 5-day sample at that first initial contact. But we've already established that we have a group message now. So maybe tomorrow, Susie Q comes back in and says, hey, I was Googling about ketones and I saw all this really great information and I definitely want to try it. I have one more question, right? And so they have some other question. Well, guess what? I'm already in there. And so I'm going to see that question and we can still play ping pong back and forth. Maybe she puts me and Casey in there. So maybe if I'm busy and I don't see the message, Casey's in there, and so Casey can answer. But we've established that connection, so it's, you know, when that person comes back in, there's always someone in there to answer the question. Third-party validation works. It's just one of those things that we don't really know why it works. You could have your very best friend and you could tell her the exact same information that I do, but because you don't know me and I come in and I back her up and say, hey, yes, this is awesome, blah, blah, blah. They're like, okay, I'll do it. I'll send you the $25. You know, so third-party validation is just something that really, really works, and you just have to go with it. So that is what we do. And as soon as we connect, the goal is to have them buy a 5-day experience. So we will, if they don't connect right then and buy a 5-day, we'll revisit it. Maybe they don't come back with another question. So we'll have the person say, hey, Susie Q. Maybe a day will go by. Hey, Susie Q, did you want to try that 5-day sample since you can take it, since you have Crohn's? And just ask. Sometimes we don't have because we simply don't ask. It's as easy as saying, hey, do you want to buy a 5-day sample or do you want to try it for 5 days? Someone will say yes. But they may not say, hey, I'll buy a 5-day. But if you ask them, they'll commit to it. And so that's the goal, is to get that third-party validation in there and get you a 5-day sample sold. We do that all day, every day. So my team, if I know, like my expectation of my team is that they're keeping me busy all day, every day. So I tell them, if you're not getting me into 3-way chats, then that makes me question if you're working your business. Because I'll get a lot of times, hey, well, I don't want to, I didn't want to bother you, or I know you're probably busy with like a bunch of other things. And I say right out in the beginning, you're not bothering me unless you're not getting me into 3 ways. Because that's the only way I know if they're working their business, right? Is so if they're doing what I'm asking them to do, then they're going to get me into 3 ways all day long. So if I don't hear from someone, if I don't see a message, then I know they're not following the simple steps, and they're probably going to miss out, and they're going to go really, really slow. So I'll say initially right away, hey, this is what you have to do. You should be getting me into 3-way conversations whenever you're working your business. Now, some people work this all the time, like me, and some people can only work this around their full-time job. So if I know, hey, Susie Q only has Saturdays to work her Prove It business, and I know that, then I know on Saturdays she needs to be getting me into 3 ways all day Saturday, because that's her time to work this business. So I give her that expectation, and I'll say, hey, I know you're a teacher full-time and you don't, you've expressed that you can only work this business on Saturday. So Saturday comes around, I'll say, okay, I can't wait for your 3 ways today. I'm super excited to talk with your friends and family. And I just kind of check in with everybody with their commitment level. So if I know that they're a stay-at-home mom and they can work all the time, then I'm expecting them every day to put me in conversation. If I know they're a full-time employee somewhere else and they only have Saturday, then I have that expectation that Saturday comes, they need to be in 3 ways. Hey, sorry, I realized my lighting is really off. Can you turn that one on too? Thank you. So watch, connect, and experience is how we do everything. We lead with that consistently all the time. In 3 ways, 3 ways, 3 ways, 3 ways. That's like, I'm literally up and I start doing conversations on Facebook from 7 o'clock in the morning sometimes until 2 o'clock in the morning. Now that's my availability. That might not be your availability. That's why, you might put Rose in a chat, or you may put maybe your sponsor is someone else and then Rose. So you're going to put both of them in. That way if Rose can't get to it, your sponsor can. If your sponsor can't get to it, Rose can. So that's what we do. We usually put, 2 people in the conversation. Maybe one of us is the only one that speaks right away. But the other one might say, hey, I'm so excited you're going to try ketones or whatever. Just initiate that conversation. Hey, and another thing that we do every single day, and we tell my team knows what's expected. Like, I'm very clear about what's expected. So if I say, okay, we're going to do Zooms. We're going to do a Zoom every single night at 9 o'clock Eastern. So that Zoom is for you to invite your potentials. So I'm going to do the talking. I'm going to do 15 minutes of business and 15 minutes of product. Product first, and then we'll lead into the business. So I tell them, okay, 2 people. You need to bring 2 people to every Zoom. They just know they have to bring 2 people to every Zoom. I've always said it from the beginning, and I said every single night. So they know the expectation is to bring 2 guests to a Zoom. I don't really give them any other option, because I tell them it's the law of numbers. You're going to talk to 20 or 30 people before you'll have 1 person say yes. So the more people that you're bringing on a Zoom, or the more people you're conversating with during the week, the better. Because if you're only talking to, say, 2 to 5 people, it's going to take you really long time. Your progress is going to be super, super slow. If you want to go fast and win fast, then you have to talk to a lot of people. And so the availability is that you don't have to do it. Let me. So just bring your people onto a Zoom. They can call and listen, or they can log in like this and see. If they don't want to be seen, that's fine. They can just listen in. But at least they're there, and at least they can hear the information. So my team knows if we're doing a Zoom, if I'm giving an hour, or 30 minutes at night to do a Zoom, they need to bring 2 guests. And I'm very, very consistent with that. So if I'm on a Zoom and I see, Rose is on and she has no guests, and I'll say, hey, I saw that you didn't have your 2 guests tonight, so make sure tomorrow you have your 2 guests. Try for 4 since you didn't get any on last night. So I'm just consistently reminding them that they need 2 guests, 2 guests, 2 guests, because 2 is not a lot. I mean, if you have a network at all, I mean, you can ask, say, one of your friends, one of your girlfriends, hey, I'm getting on a Zoom tonight and I need 2 guests. Do you mind jumping on that call with me? It's 15 minutes. Most people will do it, right? If you have someone that's interested, maybe they're on a 5-day sample, you can say, hey, I know that you're on day 3. I would love for you to jump on this, 30-minute Zoom tonight so you can ask some questions about the product, or if you have any questions about the product, or maybe you can learn more. If you're interested in the business, you can, jump on, or if you're not interested in the business, you can jump off before the business starts. So they know it's 15 minutes of a product, 15 minutes of business. But my team knows the expectation is for them to bring 2 guests, and I'll remind them. Okay, so that's super important. The basis of our business is people, right? We have to put our product and we have to put our business in front of people so they can say yes. If we're not putting anybody in front of the product or the business, then you're not going to go anywhere, right? Because the basis of our business is volume, and we have to make sales or have people joining to do that. So I think number 1, first and foremost, is your commitment level. Like if you're gonna do this, then go all in. Because if you don't, then you're gonna go super slow. My network is motivated by money. So I live in a really small town. It's a very blue collar town. So to have an opportunity where, maybe a dad doesn't have to work 2 jobs is huge. So we lead a lot with the business because my network needs that. They need that opportunity to make extra income, to be able to stay home with their kids, to be able to, get out of debt. So that's something that I particularly share a lot, is about the opportunity. Some people, maybe your network is not they're not driven by money. Maybe their passion or their commitment level is not fueled by money. Maybe it's the product. Maybe your network has a lot of, maybe they're struggling with weight, maybe they're struggling with health issues, or maybe they have just a personality that they want to help others. So maybe they're, like Jeremy's a chiropractor, maybe his network is just helping people. He loves the whole point where he can share a great product and make money. So you kind of have to know what your network is looking for. And I think that does make a difference. A happy mix of both is great. But I think we all know where our main focus is in our network. So me particularly, I lead with the business a lot because I know my network watching me is fueled by that. So I have had a lot of people say, because I post on my social media consistently through the day, multiple times, if I have someone ranked to rank 2 and I get those pulse alerts on my Pulse app, I'm posting it. I talk about it. I tag them and I say, hey, I make a big deal. Celebration is huge. So if they rank up to rank 2, we celebrate. Our team comments, we make sure that we're all interacting on our Facebook pages. If someone goes pro, we make a big deal. If someone goes MVP, we make a big deal because people are drawn to positivity and success. So if your team is blowing up and you're not sharing that on social media, you're really missing out on people because people really are drawn to that. So everything is a celebration. So if someone has a little milestone, we celebrate. If someone gets a new customer or, they're down 5 pounds or whatever their testimony is, we share that. We're all about personal testimonies on my page, on our team and on our Facebook pages. I would say we are 90% Facebook. We do use Instagram. I train on Instagram too because I think Instagram can be really a great tool, especially if you're good with hashtags. If you don't have a big following, that's another thing that I would recommend is Instagram, because a lot of people in the keto lifestyle, a lot of people that do low carb or the ketogenic diet, they follow those hashtags. So you can use a lot of those really popular trending hashtags and people will start to follow you. So you can grow a network really large that people you don't know on Instagram. Facebook doesn't utilize hashtags as much. You can search hashtags on Facebook, but Instagram leads off of hashtags. So people that you have no idea that you have never connected with can follow you and find you just based on your hashtags alone. So I think that's huge. So Instagram, if you don't have a huge Facebook network, I would utilize Instagram and really utilize hashtags. We do a team hashtag sometimes also. That way we know on Facebook, if someone uses that hashtag, we're going to go comment on their post. So if they say, you know, if our hashtag for the day is ketones rock, then every time we're going to search ketones rock. And so our team will go put ketones rock, and then we'll go post on everybody who has ketones rock, because we're trying to get interaction and make sure those posts are staying up on our team members' pages. So that's important too. But the commitment level is number one. You know what you want to do. Like if you want to work this business and be successful, you guys already know you can. That's the great thing about it. Like you've already had a history. So you've been in for a month or 2 or 3, or, you know, Rose, I can't remember how long you've been in. Several months, right?
Yeah, I started Memorial Day.
Right. So you guys already know success, which is super cool and awesome, because you already know you can do it. So the great thing about it is that you already know what to do. Now you just have to kind of shift and say, okay, who's still here, right? Who kind of fell off and isn't interested? Who's still committed to the product? Who's still committed to the business? Let's re-engage and get really excited and, you know, commit to whatever it is that you can commit to, whatever your level of commitment is. Recommit and work together as a team and say, okay, we've already, you know, ranked to Champ 6. We're a Champ 6 team. We've already seen success. We've maybe disengaged a little bit and we haven't been consistent, but let's commit to like re-engage and stay consistent and help each other do the same thing. We're going to, you know, I know the team pages was an issue. I know that you guys, we came in after that, so we didn't have one and then not have one. So I know that that's got to be huge, because staying connected is so important. So I don't know how you could utilize that other than creating a page where you don't label it Prove It at all. It's just something that you guys do, you know, together, and you guys can, you know, decide that. I don't want to tell you to do something you're not supposed to do, but we have a page where it's not Prove It at all. We don't post about Prove It necessarily. We don't tag it Prove It. We don't say anything really business related, like corporate related. We just kind of come together as a team, like encourage each other and like talk about our success with our products, talk about what we're doing as far as like GoPro and MVP. But it's a place where we can stay connected, which I think is so incredibly crucial. I don't know how anybody could really do it without that. Now, if you guys do utilize a group text or a group message, or I think pages are easier because it's somewhere you can go to and like check and stay like in constant contact, because sometimes if you do work a job and you're getting like 50 notifications that you can't check at that time, then you have to come home and scroll through like 50 pages of conversation to find the value in whatever you talked about. So we don't do that. We just don't do the group messenger thing, because it just takes too much time and it wastes precious time of working. So we come together and do a group page, but we don't label it Prove It, and we try not to talk about anything like corporate-y, just so we can follow the rules. But we do support each other, and we do talk about our success with product in the business. So, you know, that's something that you guys could possibly do to stay connected. Keep it simple. Like Natalie taught us, the KISS is keep it stupid simple. It's so stupid simple that sometimes you think you have to do more, but you don't. If you can send the campfire video, connect in a 3-way message, and get them to buy a 5-day sample, you're going to create online customers and promoters. It's just going to happen. That's what we've seen, and we're duplicating. So Casey came in, my sponsor came in and hit Champ 6 her first month. That's insane, right? And then I came in and I literally just had to check everything I knew at the door, and I just listened. I did exactly what they told me to do. I watched, connect, and experience. I got hundreds of people in conversations with Natalie and Michael and Casey, and I got on every single Zoom and had people on the Zoom. As many people as I could find to get on a Zoom, I had. I hit Champ 6 my first month. I signed a girl named Amanda. She came in. She's duplicated everything I told her to do. She watched, connects, and experience. She's on the Zoom. She has 2 people on the Zoom, and she's consistently doing 3 ways every day. She has hit now Champ 6 her first month. Another girl, Candy, same thing. She's duplicated everything we told her to do. She gets everybody on a Zoom, at least 2 people every night or on the weekend, and she's in hundreds of chats with people during the day, during the week. She's now hit Champ 6 her first month. It's duplicatable and it works if you do it. It's not like one kind of fluke, like I hit Champ 6 my first month and that's it. We've now repeated this 3 times just in our leg. And so I know it works. And so if you can be consistent to do it, then you will start to see your teams moving forward. And I think that's the key. Like, who doesn't want to come in and win? Like, most people want to, if they're going to join a network marketing company, they either love the product only and they're just interested in getting like a discount. So they join a company because some companies do like a discount. We don't. So really the only benefit to coming in as a promoter is if you're passionate about the product and want to make a business out of it, which we stress too. Like, we do not sign anyone unless they want to run with this business. So we will let them know there's zero benefit. Like, we will absolutely love you to be a customer of ours. Like, that's awesome. If you're just interested in the product and you can't buy an experience pack right now, then we keep them a customer. Like, we love customers. Customers fuel our volume, and that's the basis of our business. We want serious people that are committed to the conversation and that want to run and go pro and go MVP their first week. Like, that's another thing. Like, I don't think anyone on my team, and I have hundreds of people now, have not hit GoPro and MVP their first week in the business. You know why? Because we don't even give them an option to. Like, from the second they join, it's like, okay, you create your buzz on social media. You're going to start sending the campfire video to those little posts that you're getting likes and comments on. And then you're immediately into 3-way conversations, right? So we want to get a feel for your friends and family. We want to get as many people in those conversations, and then you start inviting to Zooms. So when people are on a Zoom and they're hearing our passion and they're seeing our excitement and they're hearing what's going on in our team, it's just people are attracted to that. And so they're either a customer or a promoter. We're just good about being able to duplicate that. And I think it's just because we all do exactly the same thing. We don't have anybody on our team answering questions. So are you doing a lot of work in the beginning? Holy cow, yes. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you're constantly listening and constantly talking. But when I joined, like the first few weeks that I joined, I put Natalie and Michael and Casey in literally hundreds of messages. And I went like this. And I was like, yeah, I never said a word, right? I didn't know anything. I still don't know half the stuff. But I listened to it hundreds of times. So I listened to them, what they said. I read what they said. And it was a learning tool for me. So now I can repeat this stuff in my sleep. Only because it was like literally, I was in so many chats. It's like the same questions are asked, the same thing. It's watch, connect, experience, watch, connect, experience, watch, connect, experience. Oh, this question. So I just sat back and listened. And so that's what we do. So as soon as they come in, they're just listening. We're the third-party validation. But they listen to that hundreds of times. And so like after their second month or so, they're doing that for all their new people. And so we're training them to do the exact same thing. So now they're getting into 3-ways with their new people, and they may throw me in every now and then. They may throw their sponsor in, but it's duplicating down the line. So everyone's doing it all the way down. So you're getting people trained up because they're quiet for the first month, and they're listening to it so many times that they get it. So then the next month, they're the third-party validation for all the people that they brought in. And so that's like duplication at its finest. And so that's really how we've created the success that we have, is just keeping it so simple, letting people know what our expectations are, always being like overly excited, like keeping the positive vibe and the excitement. Like there's just no time for any type of negativity, any kind of whining or any kind of complaining. Like, I'm just the type of person that is a straight shooter. And if someone comes to me and says, I don't know, I'm talking to all these people and I've shared the campfire video and I just can't move forward. I haven't sold my samples. The first thing I ask them is, hey, what'd you think of the huddle call today? And they always say, I couldn't get on the huddle call. I was working, or I don't know. And I'll say, okay, well, I didn't see you in the Zoom tonight either. I haven't seen you in any 3-ways. So you're seriously questioning me that you're not moving forward? And so it's not to be mean, but it's to say, hey, I gave you the blueprint. Like, I've handed you the winning lottery numbers. You just have to go play them. And so that's how we kind of look at it. Another thing we do, as soon as they come in, they know they have a huddle call at 12 o'clock every single Monday through Friday. There's literally no excuse to not hear every single huddle call because they're recorded. Like, there's no excuse that you could possibly give me that you haven't listened to the day's huddle call, because it's recorded. So you could listen to it when you go to bed. You could listen to it on your break. You could listen to it when you get home from work, whatever it is. Like, there's no excuse that you can't listen to a huddle call. So I just tell people, if you can't get on at noon, totally understand. Some people work, they don't have a break, they're not allowed to listen to their phones or something at work. I totally get it. But you can make time, 30 minutes, at some point in your evening, to listen to the huddle call. And it's crucial, because that's part of being engaged. That's part of consistency. So if they know, I'm going to ask them later, hey, what do you think of the huddle call? I might say, hey, what's 2 things you took away from the huddle call today? And I ask all my level 1s, 2s, and 3s, what's 1 or 2 things you took away from today's huddle call? If they don't know, then we go over it. Why didn't you, why aren't you listening to the huddle call? Do you want to be successful? You have the blueprint, but you're not following it. Same thing for the corporate calls. Monday night, every Monday night at 9:15, there's a call from corporate. Every Tuesday night, there's a call from corporate. Like, we have so many tools here. It's almost like impossible to fail if you stay engaged. They give us a lot of tools. I personally love Tuesday night calls, because I think they're more like people driven and product and business. So Monday nights, I encourage my team, hey, get on those Monday night calls, listen to Ryan, listen to what's going on in the community. But Tuesday nights, invite as many people as possible to listen to that call, because the last couple of weeks have been really, really good. Last week was Dr. Heather Cardin, and it was good. But the week prior, like 2 weeks ago, it was Dr. Andy. And we save that call. So we use that call all the time now. It's part of our daily method of operation that we send that call to people, because Dr. Andy was spot on that call. If you have not listened to it, go back and listen to it. It's a 20-minute, 25-minute call. She probably talked for 15 or 20 of those minutes, but it was like the most amazing call, because she really talked about like everything someone would ask. Who can use it? Why should they be using it? Who can't use it? Is there any drug interaction? Is there any side effects? I mean, like, it was a great content call. So we've adapted to that. We've adopted that call, and we use that. So we'll send that call to people as a tool. So if they watch the campfire video and they ask for more information, we'll shoot them that call so they can listen to it. The 15-15 call. If you guys haven't heard that, it's awesome. The 30-30 call is the same thing, just a little more in detail. So we share those too. Those are tools. Those are another validation to the company, to the product. So we utilize those a lot. So if someone doesn't jump right away on a 5-day experience, we may have someone shoot that Dr. Andy call and say, hey, I know you watched the campfire video and you were interested in the product. Gosh, you have to listen to this. I'm telling you, it's awesome. Take 20 minutes to listen to this and tell me what you think. So that's another way we can just kind of, we're continuously feeding them information on how awesome the product is, and we're checking up on them if they don't seal the deal and make that 5-day sample purchase. So the tools that we have to be utilized. If they're not utilized, you will go slow. If they're utilized, you will go fast, because we have a lot of great tools. So the huddle calls, it's a must. The Monday night calls, a must. Tuesday nights, you've just got to. It's such a great utilization of time. And Zooms. So I didn't realize, I guess because I've just been using Zoom for 4 years, I thought everybody used Zoom, so it's kind of like stupid of me. But we brought Zoom over into this business because I utilized it in my prior business, and it's just so fun. I mean, it's a great way to connect with people. It's a great way to just say, hey, how's everybody doing? Today at 3:15, I posted a link and said, hey, I have an hour before my next Zoom. So whoever wants to get on in Q&A, or if you have something you want to talk about, let's get on. I had a bunch of people jump on, and we just talked about, hey, tonight's the last night for double MVP. Who hasn't gone MVP? If there's anybody on your team who has not hit this double MVP, let's get it done tonight. So we're constantly just checking in. We're constantly kind of holding people accountable for working the business. And we're, just really not giving them any other option other than to succeed. Because I think that if you do something like this, then you want to win. I mean, that's why you join. That's why you do things like this, to be successful. No one wants to come into a company, spend $850 especially, and then don't do anything with it. Like, that's just silly. Like, who doesn't want to do something with this? And this opportunity is so flipping huge. Like, for me, I've been in 3 months. 3 months. This is my 3rd month. I'm over $12,000 this month. Like, it's crazy what can happen if you utilize the tools that we have. Like, it is insane. 3 months I've been in this business. And trust me, I don't know anything more than you do. I probably honestly know less than y'all. I'm serious. I know less about the product, and I guarantee I know less about the compensation plan. But you know what's the thing with me is there's two things I want to know about the compensation plan: GoPro and MVP. And that's the only thing I tell my people. You need to know two things: GoPro and Go MVP, and then get all your new people to GoPro and MVP. Because really that's the basis of the whole compensation plan, right? I mean, if you have a green personality, if you've ever done anything about the personality color chart, greens need to know numbers. They need to know like specifics. I am not green at all. So like for me, if just like I'm making money, so like I'm happy with that. But really, if you get caught up in knowing everything about the compensation plan, you lose momentum. So if you can get people in and just say, hey, this is what you need to do to make money. GoPro, Go MVP. GoPro, Go MVP. Every single day, GoPro, Go MVP. If you don't have someone else to GoPro and Go MVP, that means you need to go get more people in your organization to GoPro and Go MVPs. If everybody's gone pro and everybody's MVP, then it's time to get people on a Zoom, get more people into three-way conversations. So really, we're just utilizing the simple parts of the compensation plan because that's really what's duplicatable. And down the line, once you hit All-Star and you're Champ 6, then you can figure out every little last detail of the compensation plan, because it really upfront, it's not really that important, to be honest. Because if you're utilizing those steps, you're making money, period. So they're going to see success. They're going to have that great weekly paycheck, and they're going to have that residual because they're doing the simple steps that are leading them to go pro and go MVP. So I know Rose is really, really excited. I know she's totally pumped up for the new year. I know that, things happen, life happens, things, changes come. And so sometimes we have these like bumps in momentum, and that's totally normal. So like, don't think it's not. We all go through that, and I will go through that too. Right now, I'm just a newbie. So like, I'm new and excited, and we're like running full force. But the key is in a few months from now, if we're still doing that. And I plan on continuing to do that, but that means I'm going to have to be consistent with my activity. So my consistency has to be, top notch, and I have to make sure that I'm giving and training my newbies to have that same work ethic and that same commitment level, and staying engaged and staying into activity. So I think that Rose is at a point now where she's just so excited. She wants to find that momentum, get who wants to run and run with her. And that's the whole point. I think running alone is great. We could do this. We could totally take this all the way to legend by ourselves for the most part. We could have one or two people and ride it all the way to the top. But that's not as fun, right? You want your team, you want your friends and your family and the people that join your business to go with you. That's the real win, is to have your team that's going right along with you. So duplication is key. And so, Rose really feels like you guys have that love of the product. You had that love of the business. Maybe you just kind of got disengaged for whatever reason. But it's the perfect time to get re-engaged. We're just at a, cliche if you want to, but it's New Year's. We're about to kick off 2017, and it is going to be epic. Things have changed. I mean, this company has evolved in just 15 months. It's crazy. Just in the last 3 months, I have seen dramatic surges of major momentum. And so it's just getting started. So I know Rose just has this passion to get involved in that momentum and be, a leader and continue to move forward with y'all. And so she wants the same commitment level that she's wanting to do, she wants from y'all. And so that's really why she invited me. She's like, hey, see who, what you're doing and see if we can kind of utilize some of those same things with the people that I have. And I believe that anyone, and I literally mean anyone, can come into this business and be successful with zero skill set. No sales, no personality. They don't have to have, super awesome personality. They don't have to have a major skill set. If they can duplicate, watch, connect, and experience, and they can stay in activity and stay engaged, y'all will win and win fast. You really, really will. It's what's happening. There's other teams. It's not just mine. There's several other teams that are doing those same things. They're really, really staying engaged. They're utilizing the momentum of the company, and they're watch, connect, and experience. Watch, connect, and experience. They're not trying to be the message. They're not trying to answer everybody's questions and be the smartest one in the room. They're just trying to watch, connect, and experience. The second you try to be the smartest one in the room, you go slow, right? That's just how that's the nature of this business, particularly prove it right now. If you are the smartest person in the room, you go slow. If you bring another smart person into the room and let them be that message for you, you're going to go fast. That's what I just tell people. You might know every answer in the world. You could probably answer the messages that I'm getting way better than me, but that's not your job. Your job is just to bring everybody to your sponsor and your upline so they can help you win and win fast. So I hope that some of these little things help. I hope that if you haven't gotten on a huddle call in a while, that you'll be on the huddle call tomorrow. Or if you haven't gone to SoundCloud and listened to some of those recordings, that you do, because SoundCloud is awesome. Keto 123 is Michael Rutherford's, and I think he's caught up. He might have missed the last couple huddle calls, but he's really good about uploading them. So if you've missed a bunch, go back and listen to them. Refresh yourself. Recommit to whatever, your commitment level can be. And just, say, okay, we're going to do this. It's, we're closing out December. You're going to launch into 2017 with Epic. Hopefully you guys will go to that because I think it's going to be incredible. And hopefully you guys will go so I can meet you guys in person. Yes, Jason will be there. I'm so excited. I got to meet Jason in Kentucky. This is the time to really get on board and do it. Like, think about, Mike, I go back to Michael Rutherford a lot because I think he's a super cool dude and he just helped me so much. But 15 months ago, Michael Rutherford had his car repoed. He was in a 2-bedroom apartment with his mother-in-law and his mom and his pregnant wife. Like, his financial situation in his life was vastly different in just 15 months. Like, 15 months is like a second in time. And if you can imagine, like, right now where you are, in a year from now, being $1 million earner, riding in a jet when you want to go somewhere, imagine that as you, because it can be. And so that's what I really came in and grabbed a hold of, is that could be you. Realistically, like, we all have the same opportunity to win, just like Michael Rutherford. If we can adapt to the Watch Connected experience, you could be in that same position.
Kelly, can I jump in for 1 sec?
Yeah, absolutely.
Michael didn't know a darn thing about ketones. He's certainly not the smartest guy in the room. It's a powder you shake. And if you've heard him on the calls, he says it every day. It's a powder you shake with water. That's it. He doesn't know anything more than you and me.
No, literally, he tells
people in this group, and he's not a nutritionist. He's not a doctor. He's not in anything. He's just a guy who knows how to shake powder and water.
I'll be honest, I met Rose in Maui when she was so sweet and so generous enough to share a room with me because I had just joined like 2 weeks before. I didn't know a soul. So it was really nice to connect with her. But she was talking to me about her team, and like, she was, I was super impressed because she has so many professional people on her team. I thought, wow, like, she has a gold mine because she has the powerful people. They have influence. They have the brains, the smarts, and the ability, clearly. And they have that, just a fluid in nature. And so I thought, wow, she has a really great team. Like, that's awesome. And the fact that, you guys really, like, in your field and in your community and in y'all's network, y'all could, literally blow this whole thing into like a new realm with what you guys have got going on just in your team alone. Like, it's very impressive. So I would utilize that. Like, you have to kind of put all those fears and doubts and things that you question and just say, you know what, like, in a year from now, where do I want to be? You might not even have money might not be your factor, but like, even if you have money and stability, how awesome is it to have more money and more stability? Like, who wouldn't want that? That's just great. And how many people can you help along the way get that same financial gain and stability and better health? So many. And you guys, because of your professions and because of your networks and where you are, you have the ability to influence a lot of people. And so sometimes the stigma, or like, the idea of network marketing is, it doesn't have all that great of a stigma sometimes. And so you, being who you are and with your influence, you could bring that change about, because Pruvit is totally different than anything I know that I've ever heard of or seen. The caliber of people that are in this company is really impressive. And the fact that they do have a lot of medical, doctors and professional people, I think it speaks volumes about, who really drives this company. And so it can be very beneficial for y'all. I have a good mix, but I have a lot of stay-at-home moms. I have a lot of people that aren't totally educated, that don't have, a huge influence. And yet they're still running up the ranks and being successful. So we already seen that you guys can. We already know that you guys can. You have it in you. You have the ability. And you already know probably a lot more than most people because you were kind of in the beginning. So you're well-versed in the product. You know what the product does. You know your own testimonies. So utilize that. Utilize that in three-way conversations. Talk about what the product's done for you, what it's done for your team, what it can do for someone else. And, utilize the fact that, if you do jump in and you do commit, that this could be a huge, enormous, game-changing financial opportunity. Because I know for me, 3 months ago, I was in a vastly different place than I am right now. And it's been a literal godsend. It's been a total answer to prayer. My husband was in an accident last year. He fell off a second-story building. He broke everything. They were so glad we were lucky he even survived. So he broke his arms, legs, knees, elbows. He's had 15 surgeries. So we've been through a lot in 18 months. So I came into this when I had tons of other stuff going on in my life, but I really, really needed the opportunity. So I had to take a huge leap of faith because I was scared to death to leave something that, even though there was some issues and I really needed something more, but to leave that secure career to jump into something that I didn't know, if it would be successful, it was really, really scary. But I'm so glad I did, because now 3 months later, it's transforming our lives. I'm able to, pay our bills. My husband, he can get the things that he needs, take care of that he needs, and we're not stressing out over money, which can be huge. So you just, I think the opportunity here is just really, really mind-blowing. I've never seen anything like it. I literally out-earned my 4-year career in 3 months. Not many people can say that. And it's crazy that so many people on my team can say the exact same thing. They can say, well, I've replaced my job in the corporate America or my last stint in network marketing in a month or 2. So the opportunity is literally, the sky's the limit with this. And we already know the product is incredible because we're all loving it and drinking it and seeing, better results and awesome things just from the product alone. And we know that the product leads this company. And that's another great thing, is that, we continue to share this amazing product. People are going to jump on board because it works. This company has something very special, super special, that other companies just don't have. And so when we have a product like that and it leads from the front, we don't really have to do that much work. The Watch Connect experience is cake. We just have to do it.
So
you just got to commit.
Everybody, anybody have questions for Kelly? Jump in, unmute yourself if you want, or you can.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey.
Most of the time when you do 3-ways, do you do 3-ways through Facebook Messenger?
99% of the time. Yep.
Okay.
Most people, let's be real. If we're honest, it's 2016. People hate being on the phone. They're going to say no to a 3-way call every time, more than likely. You'll have that one person that is a phone talker. Very, very rarely will you get someone to commit to a phone call. But you'll get someone to commit to a 3-way, or you just put them in one and you're naturally in one, where it's like, well, you're already established one and here we are talking about it. It's a smooth transition because it's just, you don't use words like upline and sponsor because people aren't familiar with that. And you just say, hey, it's my friend Kelly. Wanted to make sure you had the right answer. That was an awesome question. You compliment them. That was a great question. You'll learn, the more you do this, the more you'll feel comfortable with it, and it'll just be second nature. But if you can keep the premise of keeping it so simple, and always just, I hate to say dumb it down, but it's literally just keep it as simple as possible. I'm mind blown by the simplicity. I really am.
Hey, Kel.
Mm-hmm.
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
To do it that way.
Of course.
What's your conversation like where you or even your up team when you're taking that person from customer to promoter?
I like to lead with, because most people are product users. So they all started as either a sampler or a 30-day online customer. So I kind of lead with, do you want to know how to get your products for free? Or if you could earn your products for free, do you know five or six other people that could benefit from the product? Usually they'll say, well, yeah, I'd love to get the product for free, and then if they answer the second question, do you have, 5 or 6 people that would, order from you or could benefit from the product? Then we talk about moving into the business. That's how I kind of utilize it.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, price is always kind of like, for me, I'm used to the price thing. So this is just a network marketing thing for me. There's always a different value for each person. So if I have been struggling with my weight for 5 years, and I find a product that I lose 10 pounds in a month, there's a huge value on that product for me that might not be on it for you, right? So you really have to kind of play around with that because everybody values things differently. So as far as price, I always lead with, first of all, you're not going to find this anywhere else. We're the only one who has this. This is a new technology. This is, it's as natural as it gets, as great as it gets. It's exogenous ketones, put you into ketosis within an hour, and you're not going to find it anywhere else. And so you're going to get what you pay for. That's what I tell people. You're going to get what you pay for. And if they've experienced 5 days on their own, they already know that. We have people by day 3, it's pretty much, I would say 80% of people are calling or messaging our team by day 3 saying, holy crap, what is this stuff and where do I get it? We just have that experience. But we also, that's also something that we do in our team, is we carefully lay out expectations for a 5-day sample. We just do our 5-day samples maybe a little different than some people. We tell them very little. We let them experience what they're going to experience. So if I tell you 10 things that you're supposed to experience on the 5-day sample, what if you don't experience them? What if you experience 1? Then you're going to feel let down. If I don't tell you, if I say drink this, it's awesome and feel awesome, and that's all you need to know, then day 3, when their knee's not hurting, oddly enough, they haven't had a headache, they woke up before the alarm, they're like, oh, then they're realizing on their own, man, you know what? My knee's not hurting. I did wake up before the alarm today, and you know what? I haven't eaten that, cupcake that I usually eat. They begin to find their own benefits. So we don't really tell them a whole heck of a lot to what to experience, because we want them to experience what they experience. We don't want to put in their heads what they're going to experience. So we kind of do our 5 days a little different than probably most. I guess it's like the same kind of thing as less is more, and keep it really simple, is that we don't say a whole lot about what it does other than it's exogenous ketones. It puts your body in ketosis within 30 to 60 minutes. Drink it and feel awesome. And I say that because that was what Michael told me, and that's what Casey told me, and Natalie told me, and that's what they told all my people. So that's what we duplicate. We'll talk about a couple of the benefits that are on the video if people ask, and so they can get an idea. I also don't split my samples. So if you buy a 5-day sample from our team, you're getting 5 days of chocolate or 5 days of Max or 5 days of orange. We do that because I want you to have 5 full days on orange ketones or chocolate ketones or Max ketones. Because let's say day 2, you feel great. And then on day 3, you switch and take the chocolate and you feel like garbage. Well, I don't know if it's the chocolate or if this is just the orange, the second day of orange coming over into the 3rd day. So I really don't know how to troubleshoot you. Same with, anything else. It's like if you feel great until the last day and you've switched to chocolate or Max, I don't know which one caused you the issue if you're not on 5 full days of it. So for me, what we do in our team is we will do 5 days of one. If they hate it, if they say, oh, I can't get past the flavor, I can help anyone with flavor, mind you. I've got so many recipes and ideas for flavor. No one can tell me that they don't like it. I will find a way that they will like it. I promise you. That's my promise to everybody. But if you take a 5-day of orange and you just say, I love the benefits. I lost a couple pounds, or I felt really good, but man, my stomach was just, I was on the toilet for 5 days. And they just don't want to go and dive into a 30-day of that because nervous about the stomach, or if it could be chocolate, I don't know, it makes me bloated, whatever it is, then also then one more 5-day. That's it. And then after that, they have to order. So I will not continuously sell people 5-day samples or 10-day samples. They get one 10-day, and I'll do 5 of each if that's the only way I'll break it up. Or they can have 5 days. If they hate the one, I'll sell them one other flavor for 5 days, and then I say you have to go to the website and order. Like, I can't keep giving you 5 days because it takes away from maybe a new customer coming in that wants to experience, or a new person experiencing the ketones. So that's what we do, because I know a lot of people they're consistently selling 5 and 10 days to people. And I'm like, how do you do, like, that's a lot of product that you're giving the same person. Like, you should make them go to you have to kind of like force them to go to the website and order, because if you're feeding them 5-day samples, they'll never go to the website and order. They'll just keep buying them from you. So we've set that precedent from the very beginning. You get 1 or 2 5 days, and that's it. And we want you to try a full 5 days of one, so we can troubleshoot if you have any issues. For us, I don't know about you guys with your products, but like orange for me is my personal favorite. And I know, like, just in the last couple of months, like, I've seen that the orange is really, really good for appetite suppression. So like in the cravings. So I know, like, what I teach my team, if someone, this isn't a weight loss product. We know that. We know it's not a weight loss product. We know it's not a weight loss company, but everybody wants to lose weight. So if they see or hear anything related to the fact that they might lose weight on this product, then they're going to come to you and say, oh my gosh, I need to lose weight. What's this product? So for me, I kind of ask a lot of questions like, what are your goals? What do you want to do? How do you feel? What do you struggle with? What's your diet like? And then if they say, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, then I'll usually say, okay, well, you need to try the orange. And I go through the spiel of the MCT oil, that it might be rough on the stomach, but it will get better. There's a few things you can do. Take a probiotic, blah, blah, blah. Then we'll really push the orange for weight loss, because we have seen in our team that it's just really good with appetite control and appetite suppression. Not that the other ones aren't, but I think that's what we lead with, because we've seen the most results on that. Same with, like, let's say if someone like my husband, who takes Max every day, he's really seeing the benefit of the Max with inflammation and a reduction of pain. So because I know that, I lead with that too. And I'll say, hey, or if you're an athlete, if you're in recovery, if I know someone's working out, or if I already know that their goal is to, have a better workout or retain their muscle, then I'll know, say, hey, you should take the Max. Like, this is what you should take. And so I'll, push that, recommend that or whatever. So I think knowing where you're going to have the most success, or trying to judge where they're going to have the most success in 5 days is, good too, because you want people to see awesome results their first 5 days so they go and order. If they're not, if they're feeling crappy, or if they're trying 3 different flavors in 5 days and they're totally confused about which one they like, they're less likely to go to the website and order. So that's another little thing we do. Anybody else?
Thank you so much, Kelly.
You're welcome.
Hey, team out there, listen,
Sorry,
this is a
Jason.
great opportunity to ask some questions. Even if it's, hey, you're awesome, Kelly.
Kelly is awesome for doing this for our team. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Believe me. Pay it forward. Hi.
Anybody jump on a Zoom. So I want everybody to experience what a Zoom is like. With customers and promoters on it. So maybe everyone can jump on one of yours.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Zoom that I have, we can have 100 people. So that's a lot of people. So, we're having one tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you guys want to jump on and just kind of watch and see how we do things, that's totally fine. If you want to invite a couple people, feel free to do that too. The great thing about it is what I tell people is that we're all, like, for us, we're all new. So we're just kind of going into this, and we're still learning together, and we're kind of like, making some mistakes and then learning some awesome things that work and some that don't. And we'll tweak things, and that's just part of the business. But I love that we're all kind of like growing with the company. And most people, even if they've been in it for a year, they've had to overcome some major obstacles. That's just normal stuff, right? At the beginning of, they didn't even have packaging in the beginning when they started. They were like in baggies and stuff. They were doing things differently. So as we've evolved over the last several months, things have changed and people are still growing and learning. So we're all kind of at the same level. I mean, some of us may have hit rank super fast, but we're still learning on the same, kind of like going and learning on the same pace. So it doesn't really matter what rank you are. It really doesn't. If you can engage and stay plugged in and be consistent, then you're going to learn and grow continuously, as we all are. And so I think it's more fun when we can all kind of learn and help each other across the board. Like, I don't care that Rose isn't in my downline or upline. Like, we have that. I mean, you know, I met her, I get to know her in Hawaii, and I didn't care what rank she was. She doesn't care what rank I am. It's just nice that we can, you know, encourage each other and say, hey, what's working for you? What's not working for you? Like, can I hop on a Zoom? Like, I love that. Like, that's what we're all here for. And that's what makes Prove It different. And so people are drawn to that. Like, if I came in and no one like opened their arms, like if no one was like, hey, you know, welcome, blah, blah, I would have been lost. And because everybody was so welcoming and like just said, hey, what can we do? How can we help? And I didn't know, I mean, no one knew me from Adam. Like, I came from nowhere, you know? So it was nice that other people helped me. And so that's what we're doing. You know, we happen to utilize Zoom. So if I can help train people to, hey, you know, utilize Zoom because it's so great, then awesome. I mean, it's not hurting me. It's going to benefit everyone. Why not? So y'all are more than welcome on our Zooms. Like I said, they're super low key. You know, it's like 15 minutes of product. We do a couple minute or two testimonies. You'll have that one person who gets the mic and just won't stop talking and will like, okay, thanks, every now and then. But most of the time it's pretty good, like 1 or 2 minutes. We try to keep control of it. And then we do business. And when I say business, we talk about Experience Pack, GoPro, and MVP, and that's pretty much it. We don't talk about any in-depth conversation about the compensation plan. It's just that you can make great money. It's super fun. You know, we have a lot of support, and that's pretty much it. And we tell them, hey, if you have any interest in joining, get with whoever invited you to the Zoom, and let's do a one-on-one, or let's talk more. So that's kind of how we, you know, leave the Zoom, is thanking everybody for coming. And we always say, get back with whoever invited you, because there's multiple people bringing, you know, promoters bringing guests on. So we always tell them, get back with whoever you brought or invited you, and let's talk more about it. So it's a good, safe place to come and just learn, or just figure out maybe if you want to do a Zoom. Like, you guys could totally do Zooms on your own with your potentials eventually. Maybe you want to get wet for a little bit and see how we do it. But then, you know, who knows? Next week, you guys are probably going to be blowing up these things.
That is the plan.
Mm-hmm.
For everyone
Yeah.
to lead, bring people in every day. And for a bunch of us to run the Zooms.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that, I guess, later. And get this thing moving again.
Yeah. Perfect timing.
System, and it's easy, and it's New Year's, and everybody's looking for that, you know, resolution. So getting people on. Okay, tell us how you get people on. Do you post on Facebook, hey, everybody post, hey, Zoom tonight, blah, 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 something?
Yes. So we never post our Zoom links publicly. So we just do that to kind of, it's a strategy. It's like, okay, this is a exclusive Zoom. There's only so many seats. Like, you want to get on, message me for the private link. It makes people feel special. It makes people say, oh, that's really neat. Like, there's only so many seats. Like, before, we only had 50. And so, because my Zoom only held 50. So I was like, okay, the first 50 people on the Zoom, and that's it. So a lot of people couldn't get on. So that made them like, oh man, I tried to get on your Zoom, but I couldn't get on. Like, you had that many people on.
Want that problem.
Yeah, it's exciting, you know? And so now we have 100. So we have those seats. And mind you, we will have, some nights we will have a packed house. We'll have 50 plus people on a Zoom. Friday night, we had maybe 23 people on. It was a Friday night, but there was still 23 people that took their Friday night to get on a 30-minute Zoom. So I don't care if you have 500 people or 5, the Zoom is still beneficial if you've just shared ketones and Prove It with 5 people. They heard about the product, they heard about the business. So it doesn't matter if you have 500 or 5. It's 100% beneficial if you have one potential that hears about this product or hears about this business. So don't let the numbers, because some people are like, oh, I can't, you know, I only had 5 people on a Zoom. I'm like, what? You had 5 guests on a Zoom? Like, that's awesome. Celebrate that. So if you guys have a Zoom and there's like 4 guests, that's okay. That they're 4 guests, you know, but your goal, every Zoom, your goal, hands down, should bring 2 people. If everybody just brought 2 people, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people that are hearing about ketones and Prove It. So if you can just really, really try to get 2 people, if that can just be your go-to. I mean, if you get 10, awesome. I mean, if you can get more, the better. But if you can just bring 2 every single time and just kind of don't give yourself an out. So spend the day. If you know your Zoom's at 9 p.m. Eastern that day, then you post, you can make a graphic, a fun graphic. We have the one from Maui. Someone was holding up the Max on the bicycle. I don't even know who took the picture, but we use that picture and we say, come Zoom with us. And so it's a catchy photo. We say, tonight we're Zooming at, 9 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be like 15 minutes of product, 15 minutes of business. Jump on and learn about ketones and prove it. Something simple like that. Or we might say, drop an emoji if you want the link to our Zoom. And that way we're calling for an action. So drop an emoji if you want the Zoom. Or we happen to have a lot of people that are secret keto users. So we'll joke about that and we'll say, okay, all my secret keto users, if you want the private link, let us know. So we just kind of play on that and just create excitement. One of the biggest things, people are asking me all the time, how do you guys go through experience packs like you do? Because we literally, our new people are going through 6 experience packs in a month. I mean, we're just ridiculous about samples. But the reason why is that we create that curiosity and we make it to where people want it. So we really take a play out of the Christmas holiday or shopping playbook, and we say, we know that most people want what they can't have or want what everybody else has. So if your neighbor has something, typically you want it too. Or if you think something's there's not a lot of something and there's just a few, you want to be that person that gets one of those, right? This Nintendo thing is a prime example. This Nintendo, this new, retro Nintendo game, they played that up for weeks saying that they were only going to launch a few of those GameCube, those new Nintendos, and they were only going to bring out so many. And so people were sleeping at Toys R Us in the nighttime to wait in line to get that dang thing. And then the next day there was everybody had them all over the place, right? That's marketing at its finest. So we kind of do the same thing. We talk about the samples. We say, okay, I only have a few samples. If you want your 5-day, you've got to let me know ASAP because they fly out the door. And that, create that, or I only have this many, they're going to be gone soon. It forces people to kind of be oh crap, so-and-so commented, she's going to have a 5-day and I'm not, so I got to hurry up and send her my money, or I have to claim my 5-day. So we do a lot of claim your 5-day experience quick. There's only a few left. So we might have the whole darn experience pack, really, but we want to create that sense of urgency. So we play on words a lot. We play on that excitement and sense of that people want something that no one else has, and the fact that there's only a few, so they're going to hurry. They're going to feel like it's a hurry for them to buy one. I think that's important because the more people you have sampling keto, the better. You consistently want to have experience packs coming through your business because if you do, your people are experiencing your ketones. They're experiencing you're creating online customers and promoters. If you don't have anybody sampling ketones, it's probably a problem. You've got to get people sampling what we have, at least hearing and learning about what we have at minimum. But the best thing is for them to experience. Because how many people tried the product and then joined that are on the call? Probably most of you. You've experienced, right? So someone gave you an experience and you were like, holy cow, I love this stuff. Let me join. So that's what brings most people in is the product. So if you're not selling the samples, then you're probably not moving forward fast.
Good stuff.
Yeah. And it's basic stuff, right? It's super fun stuff. How cool is it that we get to work from home? I love it. How cool is it that we can do Zooms at night and I'm in Florida and Rose in New York, you guys are all over and we can come together and chat and it's a lot of people love the FaceTime. They love to be able to see people. Some people don't, and that's cool. They can totally call or hide their video. I have people in their pajamas laying in bed sometimes. I'm like, hey, whatever works, just get on and learn about keto. But it's a good tool to utilize and it's fun. So we have a really cool thing with Zoom. You can train, you can do these things for your team. If you guys want to say, hey, I'm committed, Rose, I'm ready to do this. Let's do this. Let's do every Wednesday, whatever your time, it's every Wednesday at 7, we're going to come together and have a 10-minute rally, what we're planning on doing for the week. Or Sunday nights, you're going to, get together and say, okay, Monday morning, how many 3-ways can we get into? How many people can we get on a Zoom? Just make it fun, make it a contest, fuel each other and use these just to keep in touch. If the Zoom is a way that you guys can utilize, hanging out and just, say, hey, what's going on this week? How many samples have you sold? How many 3-ways have you been in? It's accountability is good. If you're supposed to bring 2 people on a Zoom and everybody here is like, okay, we're bringing 2 people on a Zoom, and you're the only one who shows up to the Zoom with nobody, you're going to be like, dang it, you know, you want to come with 4. So you can be like, yeah, I got 4, you know what I mean? And make it fun, like make kind of like a friendly competition, and make it to where you don't want to disappoint. Like, you know, you want 2 people on, so you're going to do whatever you need to do all day long to get your 2 people on that Zoom.
Awesome. Awesome information. I hope everybody is soaking all this up.
Right.
Tonight, actually, Jared has his fireside chat, right? You tune into that one?
We sometimes do. We don't get plugged into that very often.
Okay. I don't either, but I want to.
We love Jared. I absolutely love Jared. He's awesome. We just haven't plugged into that. We're really, that wasn't something that was duplicated down. I actually only learned about that the night we came home from Maui because he had me on. I was like, oh, you do a call? That's so cool. But yeah, so that's another thing. That's another tool. Get on it. Love Jared.
From him tonight, and I will share it with everybody. I'm going to actually text him now. And if anybody wants to jump on Jared's call, he's another, let's see, rank 9, rank 10 now.
Yeah, rank 9, I think. Mm-hmm.
Remember, listen, Kelly, Jared, they're all our cross.
Yeah, we're all Michael Rutherford.
We're all willing to work with a team. We're all one big happy team, regardless of where you are in the computer. You know, Kelly took her time tonight to give our team, you know, some great information, which was awesome. But you know, Kelly has no financial gain. I think the company is that we all work together across lines and up and down to help each other. So thank you again, Kelly, for your help.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. My stance on helping each other across the board is that the more we can get ketones into as many hands as possible, the more our company grows and the more stability we have for our opportunity. So if we're all being successful, it really does benefit each other.
Yeah, I love that everybody helps everybody, and it doesn't matter who your mommy is or who your dad is.
Yes.
Your family.
Yep, absolutely.
Wow.
All right, guys. Anybody have any more questions for Kelly?
And if you don't, make sure you get the recording to all your people who are not on this call. They need to be on this. They need to watch this video.
Wait, Sherry wants to speak. Sherry, unmute yourself down on the bottom. There's a thing that says unmute.
Yeah, tap your screen and then tap.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I have a retail store and an office, and I'm there a lot, and I get interrupted, which is good to get interrupted, but trying to just – my customers are a different breed. I've got a lot of older folks that don't even look at a computer. They don't even like to text. They don't like to be bothered, but they're curious about this because they've seen me talk to others about it. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to get them to understand in their own way and not be pushy, because when I can see, you can see it in some people's faces. If you push them, they're just going to run like out the door.
Mm-hmm.
But we've had some really good experiences with some over 50 age people, and I want to share that. So help.
What kind of office do you have, or what kind of store do you have?
Wellness center. I was a registered nurse, and then I got my ND. So I do consultations, and we have kind of a nice little team there. Mm-hmm. So it's a perfect environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So I would say, like, just not knowing exactly, how your system works or whatever, but I would say if you had something available, like if you could run a laptop or something like a TV screen, something that you could upload the Facebook testimonies, like a lot of those compliance approved testimonies, and just, the photo frames that will flip through pictures.
Yeah.
You could do, something like that where, like, if they're sitting or, if they're in a waiting room, or if there's somewhere where they're utilizing that and can watch that, just have those testimonies flipping through on an SD card. And so they can, maybe the pictures of them, and then some of them are written, what I'm talking about, like the one frame. Yeah. Just have those scrolling around somewhere. That would be something that maybe they could watch while they're waiting, or watch and kind of look at on their own. Y'all don't, Prove It doesn't have a whole lot of marketing, physical marketing tools. I'm not used to that. Like I used to have like tons of brochures and, you know, we had like a lot of physical, like, you know, catalogs and stuff like that. So here they don't have that. So it is a little bit different. It's like you have to have a conversation and talk to them about it, or you have to hook them up with like, okay, can you get on a call, or can you, you know, if they're not social media savvy, then they won't do that. So I think the best thing would be either, you know, to be able to have a conversation, or have something running where they can watch and at least see, hey, this is, you know, this is what people are experiencing from Keto OS. Even maybe if you have like a book, you can do like a photo catalog, you know, like a scrapbook kind of almost too. Someone could like go in and read some of these testimonies and see some of those pictures. Anything that they could physically like look at while they're there would be good.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
You're welcome.
You might want to maybe run some mixers. I know a lot of us don't do mixers here because they're just, you know, it's New York and people don't have time for that. But maybe.
You cut out there, Rose. What did you just say?
I said maybe some mixers might be great.
Okay.
For people, get them in a room and just show them a video and.
Yeah, like Michael and Dustin have that presentation. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's on YouTube. It's not very long, and they kind of talk. You know what I'm talking about? Not the mixer one, but
all sitting by the pool, the two of them.
Yeah, it's like they talk about the business a little bit, talk about the product. That's a great little thing. If you could also play that for people, I send that a lot in the very beginning when I knew absolutely nothing. That's a great little short presentation where it's. I mean, I think Michael Rutherford's just a super awesome guy, and he's just so like relatable because he, you know, it's like he's intelligent enough to have a conversation, but he's funny and he's witty and he makes things kind of humorous, and so he's down to earth and people can relate to him. Dustin's kind of the same way. So I think watching that is not intimidating. It seems very comfortable and familiar. So that's another thing that I would maybe utilize in your office. Just I don't know, have them maybe that playing repeatedly or.
Okay.
Adding that to the SD card so it plays once or twice every few testimonies or something like that. I'm not sure. But I mean, we don't do mixers either. Like I've done one mixer for one of my new girls, and she literally sold her entire experience back at her mixer. It was like, holy cow. But she did like an open house kind of thing. We're going to try to do that more. I think just because it's fun and you can get the community involved. But like we did like a keto snack. We had like a couple of keto snacks. We made a couple different recipes for the drinks. And then she had people coming in and out as they wanted to. And so they could sample the drink. They could eat some keto snacks. And we kind of did like just a Q&A. And she literally sold all our samples at our open house. So, I mean, you could launch someone like that if you have someone that's, you know, new and they have an experience pack and you're like, okay, let's get you running. Invite all your friends over. You know, let's get your experience pack sold. And you could do it belly to belly. And it's definitely, you know, success in that too.
Sure. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody? All right, guys. Thank you so much, Kelly.
Oh, yeah, you're super welcome.
We have this on recording, so we will I will post it in our group. And if you guys have anyone you want to add to the group, anyone who wants to run and really take off, plug them in. Share this with anybody you feel necessary to share it with. Awesome team we have here. And I guess that's it, everyone.
Yeah.
Continue our Zooms.
Yes, definitely. Utilize them.
We'll connect on probably Sundays, maybe around, I think Danny and the West Coast people, 7 or 8 o'clock is better for them. Well, our time, so it's later for them. And we'll make our Sunday meetings. Do you have team meetings or you do that daily?
We're pretty much in contact all throughout the day. I do every Thursday night, I do a new promoter training. So if someone signs anybody during the week, they know every Thursday they plug them into the Zoom, this training. So we go over how to sell your experience pack, how to go pro, how to go MVP.
All right, sounds great. Anybody questions? We're good?
All right, I'm excited for you guys.
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome.